In the summer of 1864, during the final year of the U.S. Civil War, soldiers from Indiana's 28th U.S. Colored Troops fought at the Battle of the Crater in Petersburg, Virginia. Many white officers, including Colonel Henry Thomas, noted the courage displayed by Indiana's only all-black regiment. He wrote that their efforts were excellent, calling them heroes carved in ebony. At the start of the Civil War, the abolitionist Frederick Douglass encouraged President Abraham Lincoln to organize groups of black soldiers to fight for the Union Army.
By the time of mid-1863, the idea was that Indiana could have a black regiment. The black men that volunteered for the 28th and other regiments were, in many cases, the brightest of the bright.
The Reverend Willis Revels, an abolitionist and pastor from Indianapolis, campaigned diligently to ensure the formation of the 28th, writing that such efforts would, quote, finally result in the elevation of our race.
This was a great opportunity for the black man to show that he was as much an American and as much a patriot, as much of a soldier as anyone else.
By the summer of 1864, the Union Army was closing in on the Confederate headquarters at Richmond, Virginia. In order to take Richmond, the Army needed to defeat the rebel troops at nearby Petersburg, where most of the Confederate railroads ran.
The strategy as far as taking Petersburg, if they could just dig a tunnel, that they could pack it with gunpowder, they could light a fuse, blow a big gap in the Confederate line, they could just take Petersburg.
It would come to be known as the Battle of the Crater. And the men of Indiana's 28th U.S. Colored Troops were chosen to lead the assault. For 2 weeks prior to the planned explosion, Union officers trained the black soldiers to prepare for a sudden underground eruption, as well as the sight of a large, jagged canyon caused by such a powerful explosion. The 28th would then lead thousands of Federal soldiers around the edge of the chasm to take Petersburg. But as the training was underway, Union General George Meade began to have doubts about the plan.
2 days before the events to take place, there was a change of heart. Suddenly, Meade thought, this is going to look like we're putting these guys out there and that we're going to just use them as cannon fodder.
Meade opted instead to have a deeply depleted division of battle-weary white troops take over the leading assault on July 30th, 1864. When the explosion occurred that morning, the awesome spectacle left the Union troops stunned, silent, and unsure what to do next. Instead of skirting the rim of the canyon, the Union troops wandered into the abyss, creating easy targets for a resurgent Confederate army.
And so the Confederates then fired down on these people who really didn't have a chance. If they had permitted the black soldiers to do what they were trained to do, there is a much greater chance that Petersburg could have been taken.
In a last desperate move, Union officers finally sent the men of the 28th into the battle. Greatly outnumbered by this point, they nonetheless launched themselves into enemy gunfire and overtook many Southern strongholds. Nearly all had advanced until, by overwhelming numbers, the Confederates finally subdued and defeated the Union troops.
Colonel Henry Thomas wrote an official report afterwards. He gave high credit to not only the 28th, but all of the black troops, saying that they performed exceptionally.
Survivors from the 28th, who continued to serve after the battle, were ultimately able to join Union forces less than 1 year later, as they successfully marched into Richmond to take the Confederate headquarters and free hundreds of slaves.
The Civil War proved that the black soldier was equal to anything. There was no more fierce fighter than the black soldier. They were very tenacious. No reason to put a color to it at all. He was a soldier.